What's up, guys? The two newest additions to the Jazzwares Pokemon Trainer Team Series Select figures, that's a mouthful, are Raikou and Mewtwo. Today we're going to be taking a look at them, unboxing them, and kind of giving a very high-level review on these two new figures. I'm no expert on toy reviews or anything like that, but like I said in the past, I kind of want to make this a one-stop shop channel for all things Pokemon. And it's been a minute since we've done a unboxing kind of review of any sort. And I figured these two toys were the perfect ones to add to the channel. So without further ado, let's jump into these bad boys. Alright guys, here we go. This is the Mewtwo from the Pokemon Select Trainer Team Series from Jazzwares. These figures are super cool. They're a little bit bigger. They're a little more articulated, maybe a little more detailed, but they're also still like a very affordable price. I believe these come in at $19.99. I primarily pick mine up at Target. They may or may not be exclusive to Target, but that's where I see them the most. They come in a nice box. These ones I do not save, unfortunately, but I do have the Suicune, I have the Tyranitar, the Charizard, and pretty much all the other ones that you can obtain. So here we go with the Mewtwo and the Raikou. I got to get my handy dandy scissors out. There is the first point of review for these is that there is a lot of tape and ties that you need to cut. So, you know, it's probably a good thing, honestly. And just as a heads up, like I said, I don't save the box to these just because that's a bunch of unnecessary added space. So yeah, you're gonna see me kind of rip this thing up a little bit. So true, like in the box collectors, please be warned. This is probably gonna be rough for you to watch. So, like I said earlier in the video, I'm no toy expert. I'm no figure expert. This is just going to kind of be a high-level review, I guess, if you will, of what I think of the figure itself. As you can see in here, there's just a couple quick little plastic ties that I like to grab my scissors and just cut. I know that's probably a super valuable tip to be giving. But yeah, there's quite a few of these, so keep an eye out for them. And then once you get them all, there's one last one right above his body there. We should be able to pop him right out. Nope, just kidding. There's always one more hiding where you thought you had them all. So we got Mewtwo himself out. Now let's get the base. These do usually come with a base, so you can kind of mount these up and they'll stand by themselves. So here's the base itself. And then we've got an annoying amount of tape on this. So this is just kind of like a little arm that will go on to the base and the back of Mewtwo. Each Jazzwares figure like this that I've gotten so far has a nice little base like this. So that's pretty cool, because some of the figures do not like to stand on their own. So here we go with the Mewtwo. He's very articulated. You can see the legs swing back and forth like you'd expect. But there's also like a point of articulation on the knee, on what I would call his heel, his really big foot, and then kind of in the foot itself. So that's pretty cool. The tail, right off the bat, is like, it's kind of like a positionable rubbery plastic. So you can sort of position it how you want. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think the only thing that I see right off the bat that I probably would not hate to see a change in, but I also don't know how they would do it, is you can definitely see the point of separation between the two different kind of tones that the plastic continuation of his body has on the tail right here versus this rubbery plastic right there. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna let that bother me and not like this figure, because this is super cool. This is probably one of the more detailed Mewtwo figures that I have. I think they did a really good job with this one. You can see the body moves actually in two different ways. right down here in his like lower abdomen area, and then up in the chest he also moves. So this is very cool, and his head also pivots. So this, whatever you want to call this that he's got on the back of his neck, is also kind of like a squishy rubber material. So his neck does move. Arms are very articulated. Each one of his, we'll just call them fingers, is also articulated. So this is very cool. You can set him up however you please and put him on the base. You'll see right here, there's a little hole right there. So this would go in here.
A few moments later.
So upon further review, unfortunately, it looks that the hole that was notched in the back of mine is kind of like crookedly cut. You can kind of see, if the camera will focus on it. Yikes. If the camera can focus on it a little bit there, they cut, it's like a little diagonally. So my base does not fit. So that's a bummer. But like I said before, I believe he should be able to kind of stand mostly on his own here. We will take a look. If I have to, I would just position the tail. But that's something I'll have to probably just kind of dig the hole out a little bit so that this fits in there a little bit better. But that's kind of a bummer. You like to have those kinds of things work right out of the box with something like this. But nonetheless, a very cool figure. Let's move on to the Raikou. So I went ahead and pre-cut some of this tape, even though you can see that that is not going very well. So that's... I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit frustrated with the Mewtwo not like receiving the base very well. That's sort of an important part, especially for a figure like him where he doesn't really stand super well on his own. Obviously, Raikou is probably going to be a little different because he's got 4 legs. That just should be quite different. As you can see, he can just stand on his own. So he doesn't really rely on the base, whereas Mewtwo does. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of finessing to get that in there, but it is what it is. All right, so here we go with Raikou. It's got these 3 additional pieces here. This is his tail, I guess, if that's what we want to call it. This just kind of goes right in there, just like that. I'm assuming it was just awkward to get that into the plastic the way that it is, so it's just like that. He's got the little mounting hole on the bottom here. See how that one went in there nice, and it just kind of stays there. That's not how the Mewtwo went at all, so that can go in there. But like I said before, he doesn't really need the stand to stand up, so that's super nice. But this is pretty cool. The Raikou looks very good. Lots of points of articulation on the legs again. You can kind of position them pretty much how you'd like. The head actually comes up, which is pretty cool. I found the same thing on the Suicune to be true, so that's really cool. Yeah, so now we're just 1 away from having the legendary trio. Gonna see when the Entei will come out, but yeah, this is really cool. I'll get some like B-roll, I guess, in of these standing up, and that's really all there is to it. I would say that these, if you're already collecting the Pokemon figures, these select trainer team figures are very nice. They're pretty large figures to add to the collection. I think they're very highly detailed for what they are. They look really, really good displayed amongst other figures. I don't think they're up on the level of like premium figures like I have some of the ones over there. Those are obviously more like the statue kind of type things. But these are really cool to have around as like posable figures and stuff like that. So if you see these around in your targets, I would definitely recommend picking them up. So that's it for today's video, guys. Just a short one today. I know that really wasn't much of a in-depth product review or anything of these new Jazzwares Pokemon figures, but it is a Pokemon product that I had to unbox nonetheless, and I figured I'd bring you guys along with as well. I also know that my B-roll is pretty lackluster, so bear with me. We're just opening up some toys here that I'm going to end up displaying, so again, I thought I would just bring you guys with, and it would be something different to switch things up a bit. But if you do like these kind of videos, definitely let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, it helps a ton, and I appreciate you guys so much. That being said, we're rolling into my favorite holiday week of the year. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody here on this channel. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. So we're rolling into the new year. I'm not much of a New Year's resolution kind of guy, or at least I like to try to keep them a little more realistic, but I do have a lot of big goals and aspirations for the channel that I plan to conquer, so I can't wait to have you guys along with me. I hope you have an awesome holiday week, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. But until then, keep being awesome as always, and we'll see you then. Peace.